Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Plainfield campus of Union County College. On behalf of our boards and our faculty, staff, and students, I want to welcome everyone here to this beautiful new addition to the Union County College. This is the culmination of about 5 years of work, and it really all began in 2012, I think it was, when we had the fire. Was it 2012 or 2011? I'm not sure. 11? Fire over there in the annex that led to a revitalization and a renaissance here at the Plainfield campus. We purchased the Thule building in 2014, and as many of you remember, this building was an auto parts manufacturing and retail center here on this corner in Plainfield. Has a significant, or is very historically significant for health sciences in the, I think Dr. Lamb, was it the CAT scan or the MRI? Which one was it, the CAT scanner? MRI, the MRI, parts of the original MRI were created here on this corner at the Thule Manufacturing Building, and components of the nuclear submarines in World War II, I think the Nimitz, were also created here. I'm not sure which one for those Navy folks, but significant historically. And when we purchased the building from the Thule family, we began this 7-year process of renovations here, 6-year process of renovations. And it is concluding, and what you can see now is just a beautiful health science center. This building will house practical nursing, EMT, paramedics, physical therapy, respiratory care, health information technology. And those programs are important to this college, but they're also important to our county, our community, our state, because those programs represent an opportunity for economic mobility for our residents. That's a critical component of success in higher education. The question today, and sure, we want students to learn how to manage quadratic equations for our math faculty here, and we want them to read the Canterbury Tales in Middle English, but we also want to make sure that they get jobs. And we want to make sure that they get jobs that are family-sustaining jobs. And these programs, those programs, nursing, allied sciences, physical therapy, respiratory, paramedic, EMT, health information technology, give opportunities for our residents, our students, to move out of poverty into the middle class. And that's why community colleges like Union are called democracy's colleges. This building is symbolic of all of that greatness that we do at community colleges. So the first person I want to congratulate is our campus dean, Dr. Ukachukwu, for her leadership shepherding this project. Thank you for your leadership here and for helping to guide the creation of this spectacular learning environment. Also want to give a shout out to our facilities department, Mr. Hogan, Ms. Samat, Mr. Sapara Grant, for shepherding the construction over here. And I know we have representatives from everyone from construction company to our furniture supplier here in the room. But we have other folks here that I want to recognize, and the first one is the representative of our Board of Trustees. Mr. Ritchell was scheduled to be with us here today, but he could not be here. He had an unavoidable conflict. So we've asked the vice chair of our trustees, Plainfield resident and wonderful historian, I might add, Mr. Larry Bash, to give a few words on behalf of our boards. Come on up, Mr. Bash.
Those of you that know Vic know that I'm a poor substitute for Vic, but you know, we rely on him so much. There are just occasions when he can't be with us, and so we require, and I love baseball analogies, so I'm like a pinch hitter, right? Speaking of the Navy, by the way, I was called away for the funeral of an uncle of mine up in Syracuse over this past weekend. who was a World War II Navy veteran, believe it or not. I was there for his service, and I heard the Navy Color Guard play taps for him. So I'm more of a Navy guy today than I've been in the past. And I came back just for this ceremony. So welcome to Plainfield. I am someone who's lived here since 1971. And when I first came here, there was a Plainfield campus, but it really wasn't operational. And our Plainfield residents are so thankful for the Freeholder Board in its support of building up this Plainfield campus, because I can't be as eloquent as our educator here, our lead educator here, but there's 3 different times, Madam Dean, that I met with governor transition committees, and one of my messages to them was the best economic development program that the state has is the community college system. It's academic, as you might expect of a college, but it's more than that. It prepares people for practical things, for jobs. It is an important part of the state's economic development program, and we have a special mission because it's such a broad spectrum of the population that's served in our community college system. And I might say, Mr. Freeholder, we have the best community college system in the state, and Union County College is the best of the community colleges. And actually I can say that, Madam President, because I did financings in places in Mercer County and Brookdale, and it's all great, and it's a terrific system, but none of them is as good as the college that we have here. And Mr. Freeholder, I can't tell you how much we appreciate the support we get from the Freeholder Board for this community college. You know, there was a time when I first moved to Plainfield in 1971, we moved here from Madison, Wisconsin. There was a time when we thought that the Freeholder Board wasn't quite as responsive to us on this end of the county as they should be. But I'm telling you, as someone who's lived here this long, there's never been a time when I've felt that the Freeholder Board was responsive to our needs in Plainfield, and we're proud, Madam President, to be a part of the Union County College system. And what's happening now, represented in part by this ribbon cutting, is, a godsend for us in Plainfield. We have an administration now that's making a lot of progress on economic development and housing and jobs. And it's, for someone like me, it's just great to see. And it's great that our Union County College is a part of that development. So she said a few words, but people that know me know that's not going to happen. I have a lot more to say, but there are other people to speak, and we have a ceremony to proceed with. So thank you very much for coming, Mr. Freeholder, particularly representing the Freeholder Board and our new dean. So thank you for coming, and let's get on with the program.
Thank you, Mr. Bash. How do we do it? How do we build something like this? How do we rebuild a campus that was damaged by fire and maybe under-resourced historically? We do it because we have partnerships and because we have elected officials who care about the community. In Union County, I've lived in New Jersey and I've lived in several counties in New Jersey, and there's a lot of partisan politics everywhere these days. But we're blessed in Union County because we have elected officials on both sides of the aisle who put partisan politics aside and make decisions and allocate resources that are in the best interests of the community. They do things because they know it will help the people who need the help the most. Our number one partner in terms of elected officials as a group is the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders. They have consistently, year in and year out, allocated the resources necessary for us to do the work we do with our students, for us to give those kids an opportunity to get a college education, for Union County College to provide a vehicle for economic mobility for everyone who's willing to work for it. Now this year, one of our freeholders recently announced that he's going to be retiring and moving out of state, and he's been a champion for Union County College. He's been a champion for responsibility and accountability, and he's in the work that he does, ensuring responsibility and accountability. He has stood with and stood behind and backed up Union County College. And it's my pleasure and really an honor and somewhat bittersweet to announce that Angel Estrada has joined us today. Freeholder Estrada is going to be leaving the Freeholder Board at the end of the year, but we appreciate his support. We appreciate that he's here with us today, and we hope that he has a great time in retirement in warmer climates, I understand. So, Freeholder Estrada, thank you for your support, and please come on up.
Of course. Good morning. You know, it's amazing. I've been to Union County College many times. Again, I'm very happy to be here in Plainfield. The place looks really nice. Furniture very comfortable, which is critical, and I think will last for a long time. That's part of my issues of responsibility, to make sure that the things that we engage in are so critical. Number one, I want to congratulate Dr. Akachukwu for her arrival at Union County College. And you know, it is so critical when we look at our communities in Union County. We see a very diverse group of individuals, and it's so critical for us to continue the task of ensuring of a diversified staff. That's something that is very important. I think our young people need to have the role models that are so critical. And that's on my in meetings that I had before I decided not to seek re-election this year. I made it very clear to the party organization that it is so critical to have individuals who follow our steps be of the same situation. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not qualified individuals from other sources, but I want to make it very clear that we can only move forward and not backwards. One of the issues yesterday in Martin Luther King memorials that were around the cities, and I went to two. One, I got an opportunity to speak, and it was so critical that we need to ensure that our society is one of peace and love, which Dr. King always provided. Two is that we need to recognize that there are some differences, but we can all come together and strive for a better society. But that's not what I'm here. I'm here today to talk about Union County College and the impact that it has in this community. Just last week, I had the opportunity to sit down with a group of individuals in terms of, because even though I'm retiring, does not mean that I'm not going away. I'm going to be here for a while. So therefore, as I said to an individual, you still have to deal with me. And that's just the reality of things that I've done over 21 years. But it is critical. We were trying to figure out where do we need to be in terms of income for a family in order to deal with the reality of today's rents. In the city of Elizabeth, you cannot get an apartment with 2 bedrooms for less than $1,800, $1,900, which is, I tell you, is a sad state of affairs, because if you look at what the income that people are getting, it's just not there. And that is why it's so critical that places like this are going to make a difference. We came out with an average family income, that's both parents working, to $53 an hour in order to make the 30% that are required in terms of normally for payment of the rent. So, you know, it's a big challenge because I mean, just the minimum wage alone is not anywhere that can provide those kinds of avenues. So the challenges that we have are many, and I truly believe that education is probably the most important key factor in improving people's lives. And there's no doubt that the $53 may not be the area that we are going to be able to meet right away, but it's working toward that goal. And when we fall short, then we need to have the system in place that will assist individuals in making the difference. And that's so critical. But training, in my book, numero uno. That's number one. And that's something that is very critical. And this is the place where people will come to ensure that they have and receive those trainings that are necessary to make sure. But at the same token, we want people to be more conscious of society overall. So yes, we need to have the other sides of those courses that are so critical when it comes to language skills, when it comes to history, when it comes, especially history, which we're so challenged nowadays. But the reality is that the English language is critical, all to do with what you really get at college, and that's why there's a breakdown of those educations that you need. So everybody has a job here. Nobody's going home jobless, because if you teach mathematics, if you teach English history, or if you teach literature, there's still, I believe that there's definitely a place for you. I also want to take the time to recognize Larry Bash, which I've known for many, many years, and who is a silent individual behind the scenes, but I know that due to his overall knowledge, plays a very critical role in how the many sides in terms of this board and the school run. So Larry, thank you for all these years that I know that you have done this very, very well. And of course, my good friend Victor Ritchell, I mean, amazing. The man, I don't know how his wife allows him to come back home, because he's always involved in so many different groups. He is chair of many different groups throughout our Union County. And you know, it's amazing. Public work, or working for the public, and all of this, of course, is pro bono. It's something that is very interesting, because he impacts the lives of so many. So we need to make sure that Victor has good health, and he will have plenty of future years to be able to deliver to not only this institution, but the many others that he serves in. So with that, thank you all. I think it's an opportunity that I have to thank the family of Union County College for their great work that they're doing every day. And from our freeholder board, I'm still, by the way, in the board of school estimates. Last year, for whatever reason, there was a bleep, and I was left out of that list. But I still went to the meetings anyway, because I have a vested interest, because I truly believe that you make the difference in the lives of our citizens. And that being said, I wanted to this year make sure that I'm back in. Even last year, I actually was indirectly in for other reasons, a conflict of interest and what have you, but this year I'm officially in, so I'll be more than glad to be there advocating for all of you, all our students, and thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Freeholder Estrada. Ms. Welsh, will you increase the budget ask for the county, please? Thank you. No.
No free rides.
No. So Plainfield, beautiful city. It's a city that has had some ups and downs. We are a part of the Renaissance in Plainfield. That Plainfield Renaissance has been led by a great mayor, Mayor Adrian Mapp. And unfortunately, he could not join us today, but I understand there's somebody from the mayor's office here. Come on up, and he's going to offer some remarks from Mayor Adrian Mapp.
Congratulations. I just came to say congratulations. I wasn't expecting on speaking. On behalf of Mayor Mapp, the City Council, we bring you greetings, and we thank you for the wonderful job that you're doing here at City Council. My name is Shep Brown. I'm Director of Health and Social Services for the City of Plainfield. I'll be very brief. When a city changes, when a city develops, the nexus of that is the education system. And if education is not growing and developing, then what's going on in the city is for naught. And it is so important that you are a part of what's going on in the city. And we're thankful for that, and we're excited about that, and we are a part of that. And Plainfield will be better for the work that you're doing here. And we thank you for everything that you're doing. Have a wonderful time. I look forward to the tour.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. So now's the time for the ribbon cutting. I know, Dr. Siegel, you have the scissors over there. Come on up. Don't let him leave. Come on, we're going to get you in the photo. You come to the ribbon cutting. Come on up, Freeholder Estrada. Everyone, why don't you congregate behind here while we cut the ribbon? Come on up.